A lot has happened since I recorded my last video about why I converted to Catholicism, and I would like to give you a little update. So here goes. When I converted to Catholicism in 2019, I was in a little town called College Station, Texas, at Texas A&M. Whoop. I moved to a lot of places. First I went to Virginia, then I went to Florida, and then back to the East Coast to South Carolina. And in that time, I tried out many a church. And when I recorded my last video, I was living in Pensacola, Florida, where I had tried out many churches and finally ended up finding a good church home honestly, for the last couple of months that I was there. Unfortunately, we didn't find it sooner. Basically, I gave up and just went to a church, a parish's mass with no music, because all the other parishes' masses that I had attended, I just didn't love the music there. So I ended up going somewhere else completely. But now I am back in Texas, and I found something amazing for an Anglican convert like myself. It is called the Personal Ordinariate of the Chair of St. Peter, also known, just shortened as the Ordinariate Parish. So you might be wondering, what is an Ordinariate Parish? It's basically like if the traditional Latin Mass and the Novus Ordo had a baby. Now, I think TLMers would probably cringe and yell at me. Feel free to do so in the comments if they heard me saying that about anything. And then Novus Ordo people might think, well, why would you not just go to a Novus Ordo now that you are Catholic? Why are you still doing that Anglican thing? Well, let me explain. So it's Catholic, it's not Anglican. The priests are Catholic priests. The Mass is a Catholic Mass, but it is celebrated in sort of the English way. So the missal they used is called Divine Worship, and it was promulgated by the Vatican in 2015. Basically, a lot of Anglicans were persistently going to Pope Benedict XVI and asking him if they could become Catholic, or what would we need to do to join our churches together. So the Pope issued an apostolic constitution called Anglicanorum Caetibus, and basically this created the Ordinariates as we know it. Our bishop is the Most Reverend Stephen J. Lopes, and he is an amazing priest. I believe he was also the president of USCCB a while back, so he's very much involved in the USA. And there's quite a few Ordinariate parishes in Texas, because Houston is where all of this is kind of based out of, and then it kind of branches out from there. Why would you want to have your liturgy be sort of like the Anglican one you left? Well, if you watched my previous video, you know that one of my biggest stumbling blocks for even converting to Catholicism in the first place was because the liturgy where I was at didn't have the kind of chant, it didn't have the sacred music that I was used to coming from the Anglican church. And that was super disappointing for me. As a musician, as a singer, I love to sing, and I literally am working on Sing with Grace right now, which is my whole program dedicated to helping families bring hymns into the home, because I think it is so important for our faith and for our communities in general to be grounded in this music that all of us share as Christians. It's one of those things that a lot of Christians can agree on, is that hymn is a beautiful hymn, and here we can all sing it together. Music is the perfect tool for evangelization, and it's also a really good way to catechize your children, because I'm telling you, my little kids are already singing Jesus loves me and God is so good, and the messages in those songs, very excellent. So if you want to look at those resources, feel free. If not, I'm going to keep talking about the Ordinariate. So I go to a parish that was actually converted from an Anglican parish into a Catholic parish, and my priest is married. He's got a wife and kids, which is, I think some people who've been Catholic all their lives might think that that's a little weird, but coming from the Anglican denomination, that's perfectly normal for Anglican priests to be married. So I thought that was really special. And also it's interesting because a lot of the people at my parish know a lot of my Anglican friends. They ran around the same circles, they went to the same parishes before they converted. They know and grew up with a lot of the same Anglican priests who ran the summer camp that was so influential to me becoming an Anglican and then finally becoming Catholic later on. So it's really cool. I feel that sense of community and understanding that whenever I converted to Catholicism in a strictly Roman Catholic parish, that I just didn't have that connection. Not to say there's anything wrong with that Roman Catholic parish other than the music that I didn't like. It just wasn't as similar to the Anglican denomination that I was so used to. So any Catholic can attend Ordinariate parishes. They can go to the masses, they can go to the functions. If you're especially drawn to the Ordinariate, or if you become Catholic through the Ordinariate, you can obviously join the Ordinariate. And I'm not sure, maybe if you just want to because you love their liturgy, you could join. You probably just have to ask your local Ordinariate parish. But it's a really beautiful community where we're at. There's just things like coffee and donuts after Mass. And I know that that's more of like a priest by priest, like parish by parish thing, but I'm pretty sure that the bishop is really encouraging us to do these things because it grows a parish and it grows a loving, vibrant community. So I'm reading more about the Ordinariates. There's currently 3, Our Lady of Walsingham in the UK, the Chair of St. Peter in the United States and Canada, and Our Lady of the Southern Cross in Australia. So this is a worldwide movement. It's not just in the United States. It clearly Pope Benedict XVI realized was important to Anglicans was to have this kind of heritage that we moved along. I think a lot of people are cut off from their culture as Catholics from the past, and I think that in certain instances that should be carried on. Like if your community is a very German community, why not be singing some of these German Catholic hymns? I don't know, maybe because we've forgotten them. So the Ordinariate is kind of a way to not forget all of the beauty of that came from Anglicanism in the Catholic faith. So that's my little update. I hope you enjoyed. Please feel free to watch my original video about why I converted to Catholicism, or check out some of my videos about singing or my sing-along videos. Godspeed.